오세요.
오세요.
아니노웨야 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 아니노 아니노웨야 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 아니노 we're 아니노 we're 아니노 we're 아니노 we're 아니노 아니노 we're 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 아니노. Oh, oh. That's the Pyramid Lake song, saying the lake is beautiful. Claudia and I just returned from Pyramid Lake, that's in Nevada. And I have a long, long, long life history there. In fact, I've had a whole life of lakes like that. And the Dickinsons, Tina and Richard have been there, and Eric has been there. And everybody remembers who goes there. It's an infinite reservoir of creative willpower. And by joining with her, I have come to experience the generating source. So I consider her as my alma mater and continue to live that. The name Pyramid Lake came from John C. Fremont, the explorer. When he came on the lake, we've seen it sometimes, the sun was just shooting a beam right down to that pyramid. And he had been in Egypt and he had seen the Pyramid of Cheops, and that's what it looked like to him. So that's how you've got the name Pyramid Lake. Otherwise, the name is Azteca, meaning first water. That sounds like the Aztecs in Mexico. That's right. The Aztecs in Mexico's got that appellation because they lived on an island in the middle of the lake, first water. And so, and there's other names. Tatigapi in Cherokee means that this is a medicine lake that has a secret, and so forth. I was introduced to Pyramid Lake by Vivian Olds. That is, her ancestors are the first modern Celtic people there, Scotland and Ireland, like that. And her father was born there and grew up there. And anyway, then she brought me there to Pyramid Lake. Then I felt, I knew that there was a memory, and that memory became the thought gem of everything else that I learned in the culture of Pyramid Lake. Prior to that, I was a graduate art student in Mexico, and I lived at Lake Pátzcuaro. And I also lived on the island of La Pacanda with a Tarascan family, and I came to become acquainted by way of them of a lake and a fish culture. And here, this carving here of this face represents, in other words, it's used in the fiesta. She's the Virgin of the Lake Pátzcuaro. So there's a face to go with it. The lake is her body, and the islands are parts of her body. And here, this is one of my illustrations. I have done many, many paintings and drawings of that. I'm the principal artist for Pyramid Lake. And here, if you can catch this, this is even a photograph here of the elder Flora with my painting. It's the pyramid in a feather, and this painting was in the tribal office for a long time at Nixon, for instance. And the lake is also known for this formations. It's called tufa. Tufa are formations that when there was water. Lake Pyramid is the remain of a huge, ancient lake, thousands of years old, called Lake Lahontan. And so all Lake Lahontan disappeared except for this ancient lake and this ancient water that's in it. I think the only place on Earth of this original water. So first water is all of that. And while it was covered with water, there were springs. I think they're called something like calcium sulfate or something like that, that made these formations. And so in all the Earth, this place has the greatest array and differences and sizes of these tufa formations. And here I have found this from there, and I call this a tufa flower, and I've mounted it in a pine needle basket. So I thought it was really neat. There's all kinds. Eric, when he was up there, he found looked like just like a human head, you know, perfect little human head made out of tufa, and mounted that, and so forth. Up here, this illustration up here, we call, this is the tufa mom. It's gigantic, it's huge, all made out of tufa, and she sort of is like the mother of the lake, in this way that we call her tufa mom. And she has, the way I was looking at her, this visage, you know, like that. You can see the pyramid over there. So it has a huge, huge history to it. Here on this one, I wrote, this original mind is the prehensile tale of our symbolical body. To know that here in Native America, we are symbolical people, and that is really the way that we go. So there's much to know, and I'll have a little bit more following, you know, this section. And I do have a poem, and this is by Margaret Stowey. While we were up there at Pyramid Lake just the other day, Claudia encountered a heron on the shore. And then we came home, and this woman that we met at the Tuolumne River Poetry Festival up there in Yosemite had sent this book. When we got home, here was this book had come in the mail, and there's a heron on the cover. So very synchronous. And she's titled this, Keeper of the Pond. And here's her poem. Nocturne winds play across water in a minor key so plaintively. My grandfathers break free from the sepia-tinged time, trailing mud and mist. My grandmothers travel through amber-stained curtains, heads covered in babushkas, red as afterbirth. Their eyes challenge all comers to name the color of the year behind their lashes. Their hands are square and veined. No, those are my hands, my eyes. Water is the common denominator among us. There are carp in the pond with words hidden in scaled bellies. There are ancestors watching from trees as I pull our name from the water.
Mm.
Thank you.